Thank you for tuning in to the B&RS Show.
Okay. And we're back. So, bro, when you first moved into Hart Street, man.
First of all, we gotta just say we gotta explain why we just said we're back. Because we just started this podcast about 2 minutes ago, and then a goddamn cockroach crawled out of somewhere, and I really had a freak out, bro.
He freaked out. He's staring at a wall behind me,
Because I don't allow that shit in my crib, bro. That shit, no. Especially not on white walls. That shit is way too visible, bro. But now we're back.
And when you first lived in Hart Street, we had a ritual, which was usually get some bud, get some munchies, and we find a movie to watch. In the early days, there were videos on demand, and then we started downloading movies. But in the early days of videos on demand, we would play the trailers and then decide what to watch. There's one movie in particular that me and your brother, we wanted to watch. We decided. You freaked out on us, and we ended up watching Anchorman that night instead. And you hit us both the next day like, yo, I've been watching the trailer all day. I want to see this movie. This movie is The Possession of David O'Reilly.
But, I had to build up a tolerance for the trailer. Because you got to understand something. We just did the podcast on weed comas. And when I first saw that trailer, we were all stoned out of our fucking minds. When we first moved to that basement, that shit was a smoking basement. We had one couch, one TV, one computer, and a whole lot of space. Yeah. And all we did was roll up and watch shit and try to plan out what the fuck we were going to do with our lives. So I was already on one. I was gone. When I saw that shit, not only did the weed make me feel like I could hear my heartbeat pumping in my brain, bro, but the movie elevated my heartbeat, so I couldn't hear anything. So I was panicking. I thought that if I watched this movie, I was going to be in the hospital that night with a fucking anxiety attack or some shit.
You sure enough acted like it.
So the next day, what I did was I went to work, and I just, in the light of day, I started watching the trailer, getting myself used to it, getting myself used to the fact that I was going to watch this shit, and I had to not be a pussy. And then I finally said that I was going to watch it.
And we did.
And we watched it.
We enjoyed the film. And it's had a moment.
I just had to explain that freak out.
Yeah. And we had a moment. There's a moment in the film that me and you frequently since have always quoted to each other in moments for us to get the other to laugh. And it never ceases to. It doesn't fail. Every time it gets the laugh. Because only me and you get that joke the way we get it.
You can't see him coming if you're asleep.
Can't see him coming if you're asleep.
Yo. And it was so disheartening when they actually recut it.
The recut, man, I got what they were trying to do, but they butchered that film with the recut. The original independent that we saw.
B said she wanted to watch the original. Let's see.
If you could ever find that original, because I can't anywhere. I mean, I think you'd have better luck because you're better at that than me. But I've searched so many places. And the point of this podcast is the last time you freaked out. And that was obviously the last time you freaked out before we went to record here. But that was the last time before this. That doesn't count.
There's only one roach allowed in here.
Roach said, I'm the king of this domain. This is my roach kingdom.
I will dominate you.
And,
fuck out of here.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm going to tell you, our listeners, what happened to me earlier today when I came to, chill with Roach. And, us start doing this process of recording what we go through to record. Roach says, hey, I need to step outside and have a cigarette, stay here with the baby. I'm like, cool. She's in her walker, bouncing, having fun, doing her baby Google Gaga, nice, happy, waving little words you can't quite understand. You don't understand. They're not words. They're ineligible sound. There you go. What was that? Nobody knows. She did, but we don't.
She knows exactly what she said. We're just trying to interpret.
Yeah, we got to figure it out. But he steps out. Maybe 2 minutes. She doesn't even notice you out. She didn't even know she was going. She's sitting there bouncing, playing by the ottoman right there. And she kept looking back at me, and I'm looking at her, messing with my phone. And she was, I remember you told me she tried to grab your computer charger, so I'm making sure she doesn't go near that. I'm keeping an eye on that. I'm like, I see you over there, inching there. And she looks back at me, and she's looking over my shoulder. And the technician didn't realize she's not looking like she's looking up over my shoulder. She's doing what Jim did to Dwight when he kept like looking at his forehead. He's like, "Meet my eyes, Jim. Meet my eyes, Jim." And he's like, I am looking. And he's looking above him. He's being an asshole. But she's looking at something behind me over my shoulder, and I'm not thinking to turn around. I'm like, "You're right over there, kiddo." And then she just wails, and not a normal like she's.
It was
like,
creepy for me because when I walked back in,
you
she doesn't cry like that often. Like that's not a cry I hear often. I hear whining. I hear complaining. I don't hear fear,
bro.
And even after I took her, she was like glancing towards the door
where she was looking, and she freaked out.
And she kept on that shit, and it started freaking me out. And I told you, I was like, yo, there's been times that I'll be in bed, the door to the bedroom is open, and she's standing on the edge of the crib, and she's waving at something by the door. And that shit just sends fucking chills down my spine, because it's just like, with all the research that we've done on spirits and all this shit, we know that kids have like this hypersensitive awareness. It's almost like fucking pets, bro.
Yeah.
It's like their pineal gland is so pure that they still have access to
without knowing. It's kind of like, I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but exactly what you said. They perceive things differently because they don't know what they're looking at, what they're experiencing, or they haven't been warded down, so to speak. And it freaked me the fuck out. It was just me and her here. Like I told you, she was sitting there. She was playing on it for a second there. I thought she maybe pinched a finger or something on this. And I'm like, no, that's a baby thing. That should be relatively safe. There shouldn't be anything for the pinch or grab a finger or like something like that.
Nah, that shit is 100% baby proof, bro.
And that's what freaked me out even more when that set in. Is like, nope, you couldn't have hurt yourself there. And I was looking at you the whole time. You did nothing. And that freaked me out a bit more, man, is that, and even when I picked her up, I thought she wanted to get picked up. Like, she just wouldn't stop looking over there freaking out. And that freaked me the fuck out. Like, I texted you, bro, your daughter just pulled a David O'Reilly on me.
And you didn't even realize my phone was tucked in the fucking couch.
I didn't even know.
Like, I didn't even know I didn't have my phone. That shit even made me, like, even more, like, goddamn. Like, what if something would have happened? Like, that's cause for another freak out. My brother, what the fuck? You see this shit?
We're gonna keep going here.
Keep it going.
We're gonna keep going here while Roach deals with that. It's crazy, man. But you know, the hypersensitivity and
you know what this is starting to feel like?
What?
In The Exorcist, when all the flies was on the fucking window.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
That shit came out of nowhere.
Where are they coming from?
Honestly, might be coming from a neighbor or something because there's no clutter, and you guys don't have any garbage. That's crazy.
Y'all guys are witnessing some real freakouts right now.
Real freakouts on air. Last time we freaked out on air like that was Harp during Hurricane Sandy.
That was another freak out.
We
still have that footage.
That was a shared freak out.
I was listening to that shit the other day. I told you, right?
Yeah.
But so what the fuck?
What the fuck is that?
What the fuck?
Fucking tried to tell us. He couldn't even tell us. Cheese couldn't even tell us what that was. Nigga, he was.
You know, I think about it a lot. Like, especially when I listen to that podcast. Imagine we would have seen like a big ass wave just coming towards us. Because when that shit happened, when we did that the Hurricane Sandy podcast, we was broadcasting from an iPhone. And then we had Big Rich texting us saying that the same glow that we just saw hover over Williamsburg in the city, he just saw it in Far Rockaway.
Over the Atlantic Ocean. It was crazy. It was bugged. It was L, man. And just, it was scary because I honestly at that point I was just thinking, man, we have no idea. They're talking superstorm, all this other shit. I'm just here like, man, they might be kissing our asses goodbye tonight, man. That's really what I was thinking when I saw that sky light up like that.
It's the shit that you can't explain that scares you the most. I think those are the biggest freakouts. Shit that we can explain. That's why the baby situation today was so scary, because we didn't know what the fuck she was staring at. We didn't know what she was freaking out about.
Yeah.
If you can explain it, then you can deal with it. But the minute that it's just beyond comprehension or any sort of research, you don't even know where to look. Like, I don't even know where the fuck those things came from right now. They came from nowhere.
Literally.
They dead ass just popped up out of nowhere. They came from behind picture frames that don't have anything behind them.
Yeah.
And they came out while we're talking about some dark spiritual fucking movie. And then we're talking about a podcast about freaking out, and they fucked up 2 podcasts already.
It's a little dark. So, do you want to count those as your freakouts, or do you want to?
I mean, these are my freakouts. These are my because I have to stay
them live
here.
on air. Yeah.
I have to stay here.
Yeah, you're live on air. I mean, I have to go home to where we had other freakouts when we were younger tonight. So definitely something else. That's definitely awkward. That's definitely a weird feeling, man.
I'll tell you another freakout. Were you with us? No, I don't know if you were with us in the hallway. I know me and Cheese was in the hallway when Craig.
Yep, I was with you.
He was with us.
I was with you. And my door was locked.
What he had on, a fucking wolf mask?
Yeah, like a wolf demon mask, man. Cheese tried to jump out the window. You tried to run
you
into
you went into you tried to go in your house, right? Or you went in?
I went in my door. Like when we had the
door,
fucked up doorknob. I didn't lock it. I just slammed the door.
He went in and he just slammed that shit. Cheese tried to do a somersault fucking swanton bomb from the fucking window on the 3rd floor hallway. And I tripped and busted my ass right in front of my door. And I was just screaming at the top of my lungs while he was in my face like a fucking... And then he tried to deny this shit at the barbecue when we was talking about this shit. Remember when we brought this shit up?
Nah,
trying to deny this shit.
That was you, dog.
Here,
that was you, cuz. That was you, nigga.
We clearly heard you laughing. You took the mask off afterwards, so
like you know it was you afterwards.
So you was just buzzed. We got to tag him on this episode.
Word.
Like, nah,
that was you, nigga.
We airing this shit out.
That shit, yo, that was a scary moment, man. We've had a lot of weird moments. I've had a lot of freak out moments. Like, even I told you everything at my girl's crib. Like, it's been freak out moments after freak out moments, man. And
what was another freak out moment? Have you ever freaked out like non-spiritual, just spaz the fuck out on somebody? Is that considered a freak out?
That's a different type of freak out. I think that was more of our angry, like the angry one we did a few weeks ago.
That was like the anger management episode.
I think I had to talk with my pops about that too, about how that night went, and I was talking with him and Jeff about it, and I was honest. I said I was drunk. While I didn't call anyone a cunt directly, I do know that my statement of saying I'm just gonna play the rest of the game like a fucking cunt now was a loaded statement, and anyone who can infer from that could take what they meant. No, I didn't directly call you a cunt, but you know what I meant.
Yeah, you told them that you were gonna see them next Tuesday.
it was inferred, and it was Tuesday. And it's one of those where I have to admit I was in the wrong, but that would qualify as a freak out because I freaked out there. I freaked out, me and my girl were having an argument, and I yelled, "I don't give a fuck about your friends," loud enough for them all to hear me.
Just do me a favor. And on November 16th, the person that you become when it comes to sports, that's not Bud, bro. Try to stay Bud.
Nah, man. I've contained the competitive spirit where I have to. I played in the Broadway show league.
Taylor's a mean motherfucker.
I played in the Broadway show league all season, and I didn't get into one incident with the umpires or anything. I think I can make it to a charity basketball game.
So, I'm just hoping that if I get crossed over by somebody, that might be like one of the freakouts that make it to World Star and just put us on another level. I'm going to forever be known as that guy that threw his sneaker at a fucking charity event.
You're going to be like the Adam Sandler, only guy to ever take his skates off and go after an official.
So we got a few events. November 16th, of course. We're at the charity basketball game at IS 383. And November 23rd, I'm going to be doing the K-Rock Chronicles once again at First Live. Hopefully I don't have a freak out. But if you guys want to know,
Poppy
man,
just contains Poppy.
Poppy knows where to follow us, man. At Bud and Roach.
Thank you for tuning in to the Bud and Roach Show.